Hi there, and welcome to this review of the Daily Devotionals from One Way UK for the 16th through to the 20th of May. And the passage that we're covering is from John chapter 4, verse 48, down to John chapter 5, verse 6. We began the week looking at the case of the nobleman's son. And it's all about pressing in. Well, the first part of it is anyway. Jesus said to this man who came to him whose son was sick, "Unless you people see signs and wonders, you will by no means believe." Now, that seems to be a pretty harsh response. So how does the father deal with this? He repeats his request. He emphasizes the extreme urgency of the case. "Sir, come down before my child dies." I mean, he's really wrung out about this. And this is what pressing in is all about. It's having a clear objective and matching our clarity of objective with a determination not to let go until it's been achieved. And that's just what the boy's father did. Consequently, on Tuesday, we saw that he was then faced with a different test, if you like. This wasn't a test of determination or perseverance, it was a test of faith. Because Jesus said to him, "Go your way, your son lives." Now, we considered this and we thought, well, does the nobleman truly believe in Jesus' power to heal or not? He's got no visual evidence that his son is well. He has no oral evidence that his son is healed. How would you or I react in a similar situation? Would we have pressed in further to ask Jesus to come and lay hands upon the boy? Well, the nobleman chose to believe the word Jesus spoke. And the Bible teaches that that's the way ahead for us too. By the time we get to Wednesday, we see that signs and wonders follow faith. Because he was told on the road home, as his servants came to meet him, the father was told, yesterday at the 7th hour, the fever left him. And the father knew that it was at the same hour in which Jesus had said, "Your son lives." So what do we then make of the enigmatic statement, which is recorded by John, that the father, he himself believed, and his whole household? Surely it was that they believed that Jesus is more than a miracle worker. He is the Messiah. The question is today, can we believe that too? The last 2 days of the week, we turned to a different case, the case of the curious healing. Now, there is a location of faith. A location of faith is where we position ourselves where we believe something is going to happen. I suppose commonly I would say this is when people go to Christian conventions or healing meetings believing they're going to get healed if they go there. So they go and they place themselves in that location. And Jesus came across this man laying by the pool of Bethesda. And traditionally, it was said that an angel went down at a certain time into the pool, stirred the waters, and that the person who was able to step in first, after the water was stirred, would be made well from whatever disease they had. So he finds this man in a position of faith. You know, location is very important. 25 miles from where I live, there is a city which has a reputation for being raffish. And I looked up on my online dictionary, what does raffish mean? Having thought of the word, I thought, well, I better discover what it means. And it actually says here, it defines the word as flashily vulgar, carelessly unconventional, and somewhat disreputable. And that describes this particular city to a T. And I've known people move from my town to that city as they begin a moral slide. It's as if they want to distance themselves from the people that they knew and the churches that they were, the local churches they were part of. To us, the people at the Pool of Bethesda may seem to be caught up in some strange superstition, but I think that's a harsh assessment. These people were sick and went to where the common understanding was there was the potential for healing. They, in other words, went to a place of faith in faith. And when we hear of people doing things which are not according to, if you like, the traditions that we followed in Christianity, such as going on pilgrimages or going to a particular location for healing or for some other purpose, let's remember that it's better to be in search of God than the world. On Friday we have this strange situation in the case of the curious healing, where Jesus knows that this man is sick. I mean, laying aside the fact that Jesus, knew things, it was obvious. He's lying there in a place where people waited for healing. And yet he says to him, do you want to be made well? And, there is a sense in which we must never assume that people know what we think they know or want what we think they want. The first step of activating our faith is to speak out what we are believing for, and that's very important, because Jesus said, whatever a man believes in his heart and speaks with his mouth, that he shall also have. And it's this situation where Jesus is encouraging this man to express his faith, his belief in what is going to happen, but his belief in what he wants to happen. And that man may have been lying there for 38 years, but in 38 years he had never lost the belief that God heals. And in the 38th year of lying by the pool of Bethesda, God himself came to him and healed him. The case of the curious healing. Let's find out more next week. Please join me on the One Way UK Daily Devotionals. And if you've watched these videos rather than receiving the daily devotionals, why not just go to the One Way UK website and click on subscribe and join me and literally thousands of others as we explore the Gospel of John together. Well, have a great weekend, and I look forward to seeing you next week.
How deep is his love? How deep is God's love? That's what we need to learn, 'cause we're